so let's go ahead and get started. And let me go ahead and figure out what we're actually going to be playing today, because I don't know. Oh, hold on, let me refresh this, because there's some stuff on here that we don't actually need anymore. This one, this one.
Yeah. If you want to go over team comp, that's kind of cool too. A little bit.
Well, I like to just keep it random. Let me spin this wheel to see what we're actually going to be doing. I have like a whole wheel that I spin, and it is just random stuff that I've taught in normal lobbies, and this one's just kind of like, all right, what are we going to learn today? I mean, whatever role you signed up for, that's what you're going to be playing. Okay, so looks like we're going to be doing target calling today. So how this is going to work, I've already started the timer, so we're going to be only here for about an hour and a half. Okay, so we're going to be doing target calling today. Does anybody know how to target call or what that means or anything like that before we go into this? I'm going to explain how it's going to work, and then we're going to put it into our matches, okay? So you guys don't go in there blind. So before we get started, does anybody know what target calling is or how it works or?
No.
Okay. Anybody else? No? Anybody have any idea?
I mean, I've heard people like they say, go for so and so, and then you're like focus fire certain people down first.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. So target calling is pretty much what Sideways is talking about. It's in the name. You're calling targets. It's pretty simple to do that. The biggest thing, and you may not always need to do this or anything, but the biggest time that you can get the biggest value. Sideways, can you mute your mic for a little bit, unless you have a question or something, just because there's background noise. So the biggest thing that this will come up is, yes, yeah. I was gonna say, can you mute it for me a little bit? Okay, thank you. So is those overtime situations, and so like, everybody's done those fights where it goes into overtime and you're pushing the point, and then they start getting a couple people back from spawn, and you're like, okay, we need to kill these people, and there's like 2 people back on spawn, and nothing's dying. And then they get a 3rd person, and then a 4th person, and now it's a 5v5 or 6v6 once again, and you're in their spawn and stuff like that. And this is something that stuff that's going on that you're like, okay, why is nothing dying? And then you'll end up losing. So that's one of the biggest key times that you can really benefit from calling targets. It's just by calling out a target during those situations to have everybody focus the same thing. Because if you have 3 people on an objective, one person can stall out the point and contest, and the other 2 people can focus down something. And then once you get that 4th and 5th and 6th person back in, you can have 5 people focusing that same target, and that one person can focus on stalling or whatever they need to do. So just kind of keep that in mind. Now, target calling is going to be broken down into a little bit of detail on why you're calling these targets. So, and this is something that anytime you're playing Overwatch, if you've ever done a VOD review or ever played on team or anything like this, the biggest things that coaches are going to ask you, if you've ever done a VOD review, is the question why. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Why are you in this position? If you can't answer the reason why, then that's one issue. That's one of the biggest issues in Overwatch. You need to always have a reason on why you're making these decisions, why you're doing this type of stuff in your game, okay? And that also goes with target calling. When you're doing target calling, if you're calling out a target, you need to know why you're calling that target. I'm going to explain a little bit on why we're going to call certain targets when we play and stuff, okay? And it's going to be broke down into pretty easy ones. So the first one is going to be calling out targets out of low HP. So super low HP targets. Hold on, let me get this guy that roll real quick. There they go. Okay, so super low targets that are HP or super low HP targets are going to be super easy to kill. And they're super easy to focus on, but it's not something that's going to be super common. So it's not going to be something that you want to try to initial your call on. It's going to be one of those last things that you may have to focus on, okay? Next thing is going to be people that are out of position. So if somebody's out of position, that's going to happen a little more frequently, depending if you call somebody to rotate or you do something like that. If something like that happens, then yes, then you want to go call that target because they're out of position or whatever. And focus them down because, like I said, they're out of position. Next one is going to be something that's going to happen way more frequently, and this is going to be ability usage. So abilities that are being used and stuff like that, these are going to be things that hold on, let me see what is going on. Okay, I was trying to like look at the voice chat or the match chat. Sorry. So abilities that are being used, they get used every 6 to 8 seconds. So as soon as you see an ability go online from the enemy team, you want to immediately focus that target, call that target out, so we can push in and go in on that. Perfect example of this is like when Zarya uses a personal bubble. You don't want to call it after she uses a bubble, because you got to think of the lag time that's going to take the rest of your team to react. So if you call it after it ends, she gets it back in about 8 seconds. So if it takes you 1 to 2 seconds to call that target, it's going to take your DPS 1 to 2 seconds to look at that target. And then by the time they kill her, all she got to do is just play it safe for about 1 to 2 seconds. And now she has her bubble again. So always call it as soon as it actually happens, not after you see it happen. So that's one key thing when it comes to abilities and stuff like that. And last one, but not least, and this is going to be something that, like, if we're sitting in a choke, sometimes you just have to go in and you have to just call a target, okay? Easiest thing to do on this is going to be calling a target that everybody on your team can hit. So when you guys are calling targets and stuff like that, sometimes you're just kind of waiting to figure out what target can hit. Just call a target that, like, your Rhine, your Brig, your McCree, stuff like that can hit. Don't call a target like, I hear this a lot of times when, who's your primary target you should call? Oh yeah, call it the supports. How the fuck are you going to hit the Ana in the backline when you're running a Rhine and a Hog and a McCree and a Echo and a Ana or whatever, right? Who's going to kill that target? There's only like 2 people that can shoot it. So call a target that everybody on your team can hit that is close range, and then just go from there, and then call stuff out from people that are in other out of position, use abilities, or something like that. So does everybody kind of understand how that works? Oh, I don't know if they're... Oh, okay. Oh, they will be blocked. So
you're not really worried about just screaming out, so-and-so's one, like, all of that?
You can. Like, if there's nothing else to call, go ahead, call that, for sure, 100%. But if, like, when you're sitting in the choke and you're waiting to do something, usually, as a team, you want to push with cooldowns, right? You want to go in when you have bubble, you want to go in when you have amp, or you want to go in when you have whatever online, right? So whenever you use those abilities, you want to be able to use them effectively and focusing down a target. So that's when you're looking for that type of stuff. You're waiting for the enemy team to either make a mistake or use something, and then you focus on that mistake by playing off of that or whatever. And then if there's not a mistake made by the enemy team, you make them make a mistake by just calling somebody everybody can hit. Because if that Rhine is getting pocketed by 2 or 3 people, if 6 people are shooting into that Rhine, there's not enough healing that can stop that damage from coming out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and even if they do use all that, then all you got to do is just back up and give it a second. And they've already used 3-4 abilities on this Rhine, and give it 2-3 seconds, and they ain't gonna have those abilities online anymore. Like if they use, yep, exactly. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing.
Are we
as
only
we play.
calling targets? Are there any other, like, it seems like what you're explaining is calling a target for damage or an opening for a push. Is there any other kind of calls?
Yes. So usually when you're playing on teams, that's a really good question, by the way. Usually when you're playing on a team, there's usually only one target caller, and then like a backup target caller if that person dies. When you're calling targets, you have one person calling, everybody else is going to echo. And if you're not calling targets, your big thing is going to be calling abilities and other things that you see out. So relaying information for your target caller to give an accurate decision on who we need to focus. So if we know Zarya used bubble, Ana used sleep, Rhine has no shield, okay, out of all those targets that we're hearing, I can say, oh, let's go on this Zarya because she no longer has bubble and she's out of position or whatever. I'm not going to worry about the Ana that has no sleep or worry about the Rhine that has no shield because it's not going to stop anything. So that's kind of what a target caller would do. They siphon through all of that information to give you one target to focus. And usually, I don't know if you guys watch Overwatch League or heard their comms or something like that. When they're playing, you can hear them like where they're like run, like they're just yelling out one target over and over and over and over again because there's so much information being fed through. You have to be able to hear through all that clutter and have somebody that can just call out one target that you can just hear over and over and over again. So it's really
pick like a target overall.
Yes. Yep. And then everybody just falls in on that same target. So that's kind of like how you want to be kind of going on with that and everything from there. So hello, Ruda Luna, how you doing?
Hello, guys.
Hey. So we're gonna be playing. Well, we're about to start a first match. Ruda, we're going over target calling. Does anybody here want to practice on target calling first, and then we'll go in. I'll kind of give you some feedback and stuff on how we need to do things.
So if you were doing this alone, who usually does it?
It doesn't matter.
Is there a particular role that usually
there,
does
there
it?
is a usual
like a certain character you're playing that where you're more important to kind of call it out?
When you're on a team, yes, you would want to have a specific role kind of doing that. But in this scenario, and no matter what, you should be able to call targets no matter what role you're playing.
Okay.
Some roles will be easier, some roles will be harder just based off of their role. But everybody should be able to call a target and just call a target, no matter what role you're playing.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where you're at on that. All right. Anybody want to try it? All y'all here for coaching, but none of y'all want to actually learn something.
Are you gonna be on the team?
Yes. I'm playing. I'm playing. Yes. I will go second. Or third. I will go third, because how the first one's gonna go is that I'm gonna allow you to do it. Then the second one, I'm gonna give you feedback, and then the third one, I'll show you an example if there's not like really much improvement. Because if I show you how to do it, y'all are just gonna copy it, and I will never actually see you do it. Y'all are just gonna be calling random shit. I need to see how you would actually play.
Well, I do usually like to talk more, so
Okay.
I could try, but
Alright. Yeah, that's fine. All right.
I mean, if no one else is
target, right?
Yeah. Josh will be our first one. That's fine. Let's go.
Oh no.
Okay.
All right. So whatever role you're in, stick with that role, please. Ruda, what are you wanting to play? And I'll just pick around you. I don't care what you play. I'm just cool. And like I said, I am not worried one bit. On if we win, if we lose, if we have a good team comp, if we have a bad team comp. I don't care about any of that. The only thing I'm worried about during these lobbies is literally making sure you're doing your good target call. Okay? So keep that drilled in your head. We're not in a competitive match. It's not going to affect you. It is a custom game with me and other people that have been in these lobbies and stuff like that before. Okay?
Are they all in comms together?
Yeah, they're on the Discord.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to remain a little silent here, just to kind of take in what you're doing and guide you in a better way this next round.
Sideways, did you bring your comms back? Sigma shield down.
I am at the objective. We must take it quickly.
The dragon awakens.
Sigma. Nope.
I'm down.
I think we're down here. Yeah. That's fine. Like I said, this first round, I'm not really worried. Everybody else can talk. Y'all can do y'all's own, whatever y'all would normally do in a competitive match. Feel free to do that. All I'm doing right now is literally taking how you would normally play in a comp match and going to be telling you what you should be doing to improve this next round.
Okay.
Based off of...
I got that dead. Oh, it's just rough. There's
Yeah, it
no
is.
one else
Guys, left side.
using comms.
We're all here. We're down 2.
Okay. We play safe then. My shield's almost half already.
Alright.
Tracer's right here.
Up here, Hanzo. Oh, I'm down.
I gotta back
Yeah,
up.
we're down like 3.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I'm down here, actually.
I have my dragons this way. Yeah. Is Dying Light available, Blank? Like, can we actually play
first
now?
round, aren't they?
They're not too much different rank than you guys, so.
Can I switch for another DPS?
Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, dude.
I need heals, please.
I'm trying to help.
Hit Doom. Okay.
Oh, I'm dead. So this is interesting to see how he plays. Like, he's calling one target, but he's just not really being super alpha or like how you want it to be when you're playing.
Ball above you.
Okay. So like, as soon as he swings, he should just be calling a target,
Ball
not
one.
necessarily
We're down
not
players.
saying anything.
Oh.
Like that's one thing that I think he's missing is just kind of when you actually need to call.
I'm just.
Okay, so let's take a pause real quick, and then this next round I'm going to tell you. I'm going to kind of go into what you need to do, and especially as the team as well, because this is also a team game. Everybody here needs to be talking and stuff. So I'll start with the team first, because y'all's obviously a little easier, because you only have one thing to do. And then Josh will go into what you need to do to kind of improve a little bit more here, okay? So as a team, so this is Crack, Mohan, Ruda, Sideways, all of you guys should be relaying information like crazy, okay? If you don't know how to relay information, all you're going to say is call out the hero, what ability they use, and where they're at, okay? If you can give two of those things, so if you can say hero and where they're at, or hero and ability they use, that's all the information you need to give us for your target caller. Now, one key thing when it comes to calling targets and relaying information is this is very, 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 very crucial. Do not repeat the relay of information multiple times, okay? Because you do not want it to be confused for your target caller, okay? So just kind of keep that in mind. Give it out 1 to 2 times. After that, call something else, okay? So does everybody kind of understand that on what we need to be doing a little more this round? Anybody have any questions? Yep. Okay, cool, awesome. So now, Josh, your thing. So you're calling targets, which is good. You're at least trying to think about like, okay, is this going to be a good target? Is this going to be a good target? That's fine, right? The biggest thing, the couple things that I'm seeing is one, you're taking a little too long to initially call the target. You're waiting until you're already, we may be down one, you're already swinging on somebody or whatever. Remember, the biggest thing, if you don't know how to call, if you don't know what target to call the thing that everybody on our team can hit based off the least mobile and closest range hero on our team. If we hit tab really quick, who is the least mobile and closest range person on our team?
That'd be Zarya or me?
It's you, right?
It's me, yeah.
So if you call things that you can hit, everybody on our team should be able to follow up on that because we're calling things that you can hit.
Yeah, that's
simple
right
as
in front
that.
of my face.
Exactly. So what I want you to start doing as soon as you start swinging on somebody or wanting to swing on somebody, your big thing is just call that target, okay? I want you just to immediately start calling that target.
I'm like,
And what I want you to do when you're calling out targets, what I want, like, on the amount of alpha level energy that you need to be right now, out of 1 to 10, you're about like a 1, okay? So I want you to be at like a 5 this next round, and your main goal when it comes to being alpha in this is be annoying as fuck, okay? Yeah. So like, let's say we're going for this ball, right? Be like, oh, ball. Oh, break. 6. I need you to be ridiculously annoying until that target dies, or until I'm saying, hey, we need to reset, let's back up, or you see people showing up in the kill feed, okay? I just want you to do that next round, all right?
Yeah.
All right. Does anybody have any questions over anything? Who is...
I think side is on the wrong voice chat.
Side, are you... and voice... You're in team chat. Hit. P. Go to group.
They're asking, do you want us to stay the same comp the whole time?
If you want, I don't care.
They asked you if you're having us change our comp.
No. I don't care. I don't care. We're working on. Yeah, I can now. I don't care what you guys play. Like I said, what is our main goal today?
Call these people out.
Call target. Our main goal today is literally calling calling targets. That's all I want.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit if we're...
They become annoying.
Yeah, I need you and everybody here to relaying so much information that Joshua can literally sit and spawn and call targets. That's exactly what I want. Because if Joshua is dead, I still want him to be able to call targets. The only way he's going to be able to call targets is if the rest of the team is giving out valuable information so that they can just call target, okay? So this round, as soon as you start swinging on somebody, Josh, I want you to immediately just call that target until we're all dead or that target is dead. And switch up the target. If we're calling it for about 3 seconds, switch something else.
Yeah. Don't linger too long.
Yeah.
Capture the objective.
Don't go too far, Rain.
Okay. What's too far? Ball's over here. So is Sig.
Yeah, it's fine now.
Right, who we on? Who we on?
Towards ball.
I'm on him.
Racer
Oh.
behind
Come on,
us.
let's be more annoying. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Come on.
Alright. Sig.
Keep going. Keep calling it. Keep calling it.
Sig. Bring it. Oh.
There we
Sig
go.
right
Much
there.
better. Much better. Alright, we're
we
dead,
did
so...
drop 4.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Much better. I need you to repeat it over and over again next time you do it, okay? I want to hear ball, 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 sig, 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 whatever the fuck you're on. Repeating that.
A minor setback.
Got you. Brig. Brig's over. Brig.
You're antied, you're antied.
Oh shit. Is
fine.
Brig. The ball's right there too.
We're down. The rest of the team, you guys need to relay information, you guys.
This is crazy.
Not really.
Yeah. Is it just me?
Yeah, everybody else should be talking about information. Like,
This would be like a decent person on our team level.
watch. Also,
Right?
Doom top left.
oh. You have no abilities, man?
Behind.
There's no in here. Ball.
Want
Ball,
him?
ball.
Ball's half.
We're on Sig. Sig's overstep.
Keep going, keep calling it, keep calling it. Signal suck.
Sig. Ball, back on ball.
There we go. That's what I want to hear.
Okay. Sig. He's right here. Sig's overstepped by himself. I'm slept. Sig's still right here, overstep. Please get Sig. Sig. He's all alone. Oh my gosh, please, Sig's one.
Oh,
Oh.
that's fine. Like I said, our team comp needs fixed for that, but we're...
I want to go back in the womb.
Maybe what guys swap to the Doom and the minute he jumps in. I'm just walking towards Sig the whole time. Sig. His Brig's sitting on him. Ball's here. Ball. Ball's right here alone. Nope, he's getting out. Tracer. Yep.
You gotta go point.
Sigma behind.
Oh shit. I'm sorry.
No, you're
Dude.
fine. Much better job. Oh my gosh, night and day. Night and day on your calls.
Cool.
So this is that is exactly what I want to be hearing when you're calling targets, because you're clear, you're going over everybody else's voice. That's exactly what I need to be hearing. So one thing that I want to improve on this next round when you're doing it is, like, if they run a ball or something super mobile, look at our team comp and see who can all focus those types of things.
Yeah, like make that decision based off of it.
Yeah, so like
Some really good pro players in here acting like they don't know what they're doing, and then fucking roll the guy.
Because the Sig,
None of these
wasn't
people
a
are
bad
pro
call most of the
players.
time, right? Because it wasn't as
these people are
mobile.
golden. These people are golden plat. So.
Yeah, I got gold elims, so.
Yeah, so yeah, if you're thinking these people are pro players, wait till you see Pugs on Mondays. And you'll see some actually good players. What map do you guys want to do? We can pick the map.
So like that was like
Or
my
we do
try
Quinto.
is.
Well,
What
let's
do you think comes next? Someone else tries, or
if nobody else wants to step up and take whatever, we can get you and your comms because you're doing really good, and I would like to keep improving on you since you already took the initiative to go ahead and call it. And then,
like I said, I'm freaking talkative anyways. That's the problem I run into on support is I
That's fine.
like end up trying to scream a lot.
That's
at people
that's
who I
fine.
feel like aren't paying attention.
If people think that's a bad thing, they've never played on a team in Overwatch.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah.
Keep going.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll let Josh run one more map, and then we'll switch to somebody else and get them started. All right. Sound good?
Yep.
Okay. So this next round, like I said, if they have something that's super mobile like that, the big thing, I don't want you to focus too much on that. Okay. Unless we have things to stun and stop them from moving. Like the ball, when you're focusing on the ball, okay, that's cool for about 1 to 2 seconds, but that ball is getting the fuck out of there. He's gonna slam, do a little bit of damage, and then he's out. So your thing needs to be, okay, let's not really focus on the ball, let's keep walking forward and focus on the SIG. You're just focusing a lot on the SIG, which is good because that's kind of somebody who can't get out of anywhere or anything like that. Really good card call there. And also calling out that Brig and calling out when SIG was out of position. Excellent calls. One other thing that I want you to improve on as well is when you're calling out locations, and this goes for everybody, especially like this literally goes for everybody because I hate hearing this all the time in game. When you're playing is like somebody's low HP, somebody's out of position, this person needs to die, and you give out a location. You say over here, over there. Where the fuck is that? Nobody knows where over here is. Nobody knows where over there is. Who the fuck knows? So give out a very basic understanding. Left side, right side, high ground, make a health pack. On your Hanzo, on your Rhine, on your Mercy. Whatever the fuck it is, just call it out so that we can just say, okay, we know where you're at. We know where this position is at, okay? So just kind of keep that in mind whenever you're relaying information, calling out, stuff like that. So let's go. All right, anybody have any questions over anything or just anything else in general?
There was something earlier. It was Sigma. Yeah, he couldn't move, but he had the shield, so it was really hard to actually touch him.
Yeah, well, that's also with a lot with our team coordination and our team composition. Like our team composition compared to their team composition was kind of asked to deal with what they was doing. Like I would have easily had everybody swap over to hard counter, but like I said, our main goal today is literally to make sure that we can all talk and target call and stuff like that. So that's just kind of keep that in mind as we play. Don't worry about what everybody else like, whatever you're playing or anything. And I can almost guarantee you, once you're doing this, you're going to be not able to play as well just because you're having to think about something else. Once you learn how to do this, you'll be able to play your hero up to the same level and be able to target call without even having to think about it. All right. So this will be the third round. So I'll give you a little bit of an idea of kind of how we're going to do how you want to call things. I guess I'll play Hanzo again. So, and I'll call it up until if we full hold, then we full hold. If not, I'm going to call up until second point, and then Josh, I'll have you take over so you can get a little more time in toward the end to try to mimic a little bit of what I'm saying. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
With every death comes honor. With honor, redemption.
Must violence always be the solution?
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
The government here has such a medieval view towards omnics.
See that which is unseen.
It looks like they're running.
Of course, they already have a ball and a diva.
Oh, one thing I say all the time is if it ain't broke, don't fix it. if you're winning with a team comp, why is there a reason to swap?
What's a ball do other than kill me a bunch?
Attackers incoming.
All right, so
Defend objective.
relay information. If you see any information going,
Yep.
I'll call targets when.
There's nothing really crazy going
Yeah.
on right now, so I wouldn't call nothing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I'm not calling anything yet.
Because I'm trying not to
Ball main.
Yep.
Help her
Okay.
run, help her run, help her run, help her run. Back up. Ball. Watch ball. Can we get Brig? Can we get Brig?
Oh, but he
Can we
gets
get
to
Brig?
get away.
Brig main.
A minor
I'm not back. I'll be coming back in a second.
I'm done.
I'm on Brig, but I'm stunned.
Yeah. We can just get
Yep.
out. That's fine.
Oh, I'm 24. Oh, fuck, man.
My aim is true.
Nice. We ready? Are we here? Where's our run at?
Hey, we're here.
Okay.
Brig dies right here. Brig,
Let's go.
Brig.
Let's go on Diva.
She's all alone.
Diva
She's all
behind.
alone. Hold on. Brig's dead. Brig has to die here.
Hold point.
She's dead.
He's down.
That's not what on the points.
Yeah. That's fine. Just reset. Play the archers with our Ryan. Never mind, just die. That's fine.
I'm down. You have no healer.
Oh, there's more than just her. I'm sorry. I was
Yeah,
just trying to live.
you're fine. No, you're fine. Mario, you just want to come back to us. You don't want to get cut out.
My power grows stronger.
What's this? Okay, well, this fight's lost.
Dude.
So, just die.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, that's fine.
You have a rise?
Yeah, we're dead here.
All is one. Brig's one.
Re
Brig's dead.
reset,
Brig's dead. Oh, I'm dead.
reset.
Yeah.
We're not fighting. We just need to die. We just need to die because we're not gonna have anything to kill anything.
Dragon stirs within me.
Genji. Oh,
Okay,
Genji.
just go, Tracer. Diva.
Diva.
Go on, Diva. Help you run. Diva main.
Never surrender. Marked by the dragon.
Tracer to the point.
I feel like bullet fodder.
Genji at the back. On the point at the back.
Brig's
we're
right
down.
here.
We're down
Brig's
too.
Alone.
Genji
Brig's
in spawn. Genji in spawn.
Yep. Oh my gosh.
Start over at the beginning.
No, we can just wait until we come back. Let's wait. We need to regroup.
Yep.
No. We need to come back. That's all.
I
Yeah,
got
let's go.
Shatter.
Alright, let's go.
Oh
Ball.
my gosh.
Point.
Ball.
And Genji and everyone. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry.
That's fine. Okay, so I'll go into a little bit of like what I was waiting on and stuff of my thought process when I'm calling out certain heroes. Okay, so one, like I said, we don't really have a team comp to counter their team composition, nor do I care if we have a team comp to counter their a team comp to counter their team comp. I'm not worried about that. My main thing is to I'll show you kind of my thought process and what I was doing. So on first point, when I'm kind of waiting to call a target, yes, our Ryan's there to be able to swing on stuff, but I know their ball went behind and their tracer is also going behind, and they have a lot of dive heroes, okay? So with us, looking at our team comp, we don't have a Lucio to speed on to anybody, so we can't really put pressure on any of them, okay? So
Yeah.
our big role, my thing is that we're going to wait for them to engage onto us, and once they engage on us, that's when we need to focus a target. Because if we engage early, they just use their movement ability. Diva's going to fly away, Tracer's going to recall, Ball's going to swing out. So all their stuff, they just get out of there. So the only way we're actually going to be able to get something on like a Brig or a Zen is if a Brig or the Zen plays a little too aggressive and gets a little too close, which didn't really happen too much. So anytime that happens, anytime they engage, that's kind of what I'm basing when I start calling a target and going from there. And you notice, like, I swap targets multiple times. I'll go for ball for about 2 or 3 seconds. If we can focus him down, we don't have any stuns to stop him from really moving. So I can only call him for about 2 or 3 seconds. And if he somehow fucks up and messes up his rollout where he gets out and he's stuck in somewhere, hey, I'm already calling the target. He's already there. We can focus him down. Diva, on the other hand, if I see her use boosters, she can no longer get out. She's stuck there for a decent amount of time, so she's a much better target to call in those situations because she can't do anything against our team comp because she can't defense matrix our Ryan, she can't defense matrix our Moira, she can't defense matrix our Zarya. So we have 3 things that can be guaranteed to hit her. And build ult charge versus a ball that can slam, build 2000 shield, and not build any ult charge. So that's kind of my thought process when it comes to calling some of the targets and waiting to call things. Now, obviously, like I said, if we had a better team comp, then it wouldn't be too big of a deal. Because it would be a little easier. But like I said, I'm not worried about team compositions. Again, one thing as a team, y'all have to relay more information. You guys are scared to talk. You guys have to talk, okay? If you guys are not talking, you can't get calls. Like, calls are going to be very bad. Everybody here has to be used to talking. Just talk and call what you see. Do any of you guys have any questions or anything like that?
Nope.
No? Okay. How is this team squishy? They're okay. They're a little weak. I think they're a little scared to play
Just like in training. Visualize,
to talk. So with them being a little scared to talk, it kind of makes it a little worse to do so. Like, oh, hold on. Dropping frames. But overall, Joshua has made a huge improvement from the first round to the second round and stuff. So Josh, you're going to be calling targets this last round, and then we'll switch to somebody else.
Had to use the restroom.
No, you're fine. If you need to pause, let me know. We can pause at any time.
I squeeze it in.
Okay.
Am I calling though?
Yes, you're calling.
Okay. Great. So pretty much I'm gonna be the first one walking in anyways.
Yep.
I'm going right.
Ball behind, Tracer behind.
Behind Tracer.
EV users stuff. I'm sorry.
Resin Josh.
We're down 3. We need to reset.
Diva boosted out. Ben's right here. He can't really move.
Yeah,
we're
right.
getting out.
Yeah, we're out.
Oh yeah, we're all dead.
Yeah.
Back in the saddle again.
That's fine. Sorry, like, there was a game downloading on Steam during that fight, and I kept going down to 12 frames. Alrighty.
We're going left this time.
Okay. We're zoned out.
Come on.
Zen's 1.
Briggs right here. She stunned me. Briggs stunned down. She's 1. Briggs down.
Zen's 1.
Diva. McCree actually. McCree.
McCree no stun.
McCree. Oh shit, he was out of left.
We're trading pretty well. No, not anymore. So one thing as Ryan, when you're swinging and stuff, you're doing a really good job swinging, but use your shield to close distance if you...
Yeah, to be allowed to walk a little closer.
Yeah. You're taking a little...
Too much damage.
Mm-hmm. Left.
This matrix has been used. Ball.
They're behind.
Ball's out. Right here, Zen.
I'm dead.
Zen ulted.
Yeah, that's fine. This is a reset, so we're going to reset.
Yeah.
We have high noon now.
got unfinished business.
Keep calling things out. Everybody else on here should be calling other things out while we're going. I'm only
My
hearing.
mama said this, if I don't have something nice to say, then don't say it.
Well, you got to call out abilities being used and stuff like that.
That's the only thing I don't know.
That's fine. Everybody else is
I
here.
got Shatter up.
Alright, I
Yeah.
got
Three
a
of
alt
them.
ready.
Top right.
Yeah, I got Shatter. I'm going left.
Yeah.
Once again, Briggs alone in the back. Hey, McCree's with her in the back. They're out. Diva. Nope, Zen. Zen's alone and dead. Zen's dead.
I'm on point.
He was on me. Oh, I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Okay, I almost got my ultimate ready.
He's doing much better on his
Yeah, I have to
comms.
get Shatter off. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
30 seconds remaining.
Actually, I'm gonna.
McCree right.
Hold on, I'm swapping.
McCree, he just rolled.
World is worth fighting for.
I got my ultimate ready.
I'm under attack.
Diva just came in on us by herself.
McCree behind.
Behind. Space a ball. Ball behind.
Tracer's on us. McCree's on us. McCree. Oh my gosh.
You're
I
fine.
was trying to shield too.
Yeah, you're good.
One-to-one. Get them off.
This is not humane.
It doesn't feel so no.
10 seconds remaining.
10 seconds. Okay. We got this.
Touch.
Good co. Shielded.
Space
Balls.
them behind.
Blocking that. Okay. Ball. Oh.
Ah,
Oh shit. I tried to get shields up for us. I'm sorry.
I tried to wall him off. I just walled him up. Unfortunate. That's fine. Okay, so no, Josh, you have done like 100% improvement for your calling and stuff. Now you just need to practice it so it can be first-hand nature, so that you don't have to worry about your gameplay. Because some of the stuff that you're like, when you're having to think about this, like, look, I almost had him walled. I was like, damn, close.
Yeah.
But one of the things that
I got stunned too, so I
Yeah.
couldn't have my freaking wall up.
yeah, no, that's fine. But like one of the things, once you start learning how to talk and stuff like that, it'll be a lot easier for you to actually play. Because I can tell you right now, you're more worried about, oh, who do I need to call, right? Rather than,
Yeah.
oh, okay, let me look for a shadow here. Let me rotate this way. Let me do that. You're worried about who do I need to call, right?
Yeah, I held Shatter way too long. I feel
Exactly.
like.
So, but these are in this lobby. This is exactly what I want you to do. Because I want you to be focusing on calling targets. I want you to be focusing on the vocal side of Overwatch rather than focusing on something else.
Personal gameplay.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm focused on getting rolled.
Okay, Sideways, do you have anything important to say, or are you just kind of here to, like,
No, I'm just
I think
saying,
it-
like.
Well,
like,
that's
I
fair
can't-
enough because these
no,
guys
no,
are being
no,
coached
please,
right now.
Please let me speak, right? I came in here to learn basics because that's what was advertised to me,
uh-huh.
and I feel like that we're all basics and the other team is all advanced, and it feels really bad, and I don't feel like I'm learning anything because, you decided at the beginning that the topic was only going to be calls,
Mm-hmm.
and, I feel like, we could use some basics like, hey, don't run in there one by one. Let's all group up first. So it's like, this whole thing about only calls, it just feels pretty bad.
Well, how many calls have you done, and how much have you improved on calling?
I mean, I've been trying to listen to Josh.
No. How many calls have you done? That's what I'm asking.
I've tried to call like my ultimate abilities, but I'm healing.
So you're saying you haven't learned the basics of talking and relaying information, because the topic is calling and
Yeah.
relaying information. I don't care about anything else. If we want to learn team compositions, that's fine. I can tell you what team composition are. If I want to tell you how to use your ultimate correctly, we can do that. But Overwatch is such a complex game. I don't have, if I'm only going to spend an hour or so teaching you, I can't teach you 7 things in one day and expect you to learn everything. If you're going to learn something, it's much easier to learn something and focus on one thing at a time and then practice that and then come back and do the next thing. Rather than me trying to tell you, not only do you need to relay information to everybody, you also need to walk this way, need to make sure you're pocketing this person, make sure you're looking around 360 while you're playing Mercy, make sure you're not going in for rezzing and stuff like that.
I guess the piece of positive feedback I'd try to give you would be to label this intermediate instead of basics.
This is an intermediate.
It is for me. I'm a basic player.
Well, I mean, most of the people here know the basics of stuff of grouping up and resetting and stuff like that. Just like I can probably assume Ryan knows the basic, or like Josh knows a little bit basics of Reinhardt. But I'm not going to go into what the tutorial can tell you. This is stuff for people that have played Overwatch.
I'm just bad about my charge, right?
Yeah, every Reinhardt has that situation. Like no matter what, like what was one of the coaches that was in the server, they said the biggest thing they've seen with Reinhardts, no matter what it is, they charge too much. And that's usually the case with a lot of stuff. Which is fine. And like I said, and if you're wanting to do something that particular and you're wanting to learn something like that, then join the Discord, join in the students, ask one of the coaches during one of these lobbies to watch you in your gameplay of what you're doing. They can be in a voice chat with you, watching you and spectators and telling you what you need to do. It has nothing to do in the between any of that type of stuff. All right, so who wants to go next? Sideways, you want to go next, since so we can teach you a little bit on how to.
Honestly, man, I'm not really having fun, but I don't want to get banned.
Well, I mean, it's not here to.
I would let somebody else pick that's actually, get some out of this.
Yeah, are you not? I never said this is going to be fun.
I feel like I'm playing the Cleveland Browns and I'm a little league kicker.
Okay, well, I mean, like I said, if you want to go ahead, head out and leave, feel free to head out and leave. I don't care.
Well, no, man, I'm a team player, man. I'm gonna be here for the people. I like Josh, man. He's learning stuff, so I'll be here to support him. But if I'm playing the wrong healer, don't just say, "Hey, I'm not worried about team comp," and I get wrecked. Like, tell me what healer to try to play so I can help Josh have a better experience and learning experience through this.
Yeah, I get that, but I'm not worried about just Josh. I'm worried about everybody making calls.
I wouldn't ask you to be. That's very nice of you, Sideways.
Well, whoever's turn it is, Rude, Crack, Impulse, whoever, or
exactly, Katie.
Whoever wants to call. Tell me what healer to play to help best, give them a calling experience, because
no. Everybody needs to call. You need to call as well. As a support, you need to be calling out the McCree that's flanking in the backline, the Tracer that's in the backline.
I spend 80% of my time running from the death resurrection spot to the point, so there's nothing for me to call.
So then call that your Mercy's not there. Call that. How are you dying? Who is killing you? How are you dying? Let me ask you that. What was like 90% of your deaths?
Trying to call how we're dying.
No. How are you dying? Sideways. Not how. Don't worry about the team. How are you dying?
I'm dying because the ball is penetrating the line, getting behind me, blowing up, and I'm getting flanked by a McCree, I think it is.
So how many times are you calling that McCree out for Joshua to make that call?
I'm trying, but it's like...
How many times are you, though? See, because that's the thing.
The last game, I called it 3 times, but I'm pretty sure only one was legible or audible.
Okay.
And then, because, other people are saying ball, 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 and so I don't know, do I be rude and try to...
No, it's not rude.
Louder, or...
You just call it out once. And I mentioned this already. So once again, relaying information, you only need to say it 1 or 2 times. If ball is on your backline, you can say, "Oh, ball on your Mercy," or "Ball on your supports." McCree on the whatever, whoever it is. That's all you need to say.
And what's the vernacular for me to broadcast to the group when I die? Like your healer's gone.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Just say yeah.
I'm the only healer.
Yeah, say, "Oh, your blah blah blah's dead. Your whatever. You're down support." Yeah. It's not rude to talk.
So if I say Mercy's down, so I don't want to say here, right? Because nobody knows what direction.
No, just say you're dead. Just say Mercy's dead.
If I say I'm dead, does everybody know?
No, just say your Mercy's down. Your Mercy's down. Your Mercy's dead. You have no mercy. Something along that line. That's all you gotta say.
Is our team?
Yes.
Your Mercy down.
Yes. If I'm asking, if we're playing a game and I'm playing Hanzo and I said, hey, help your Hanzo, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You're going to help your Hanzo, right?
Like, is there any way that I don't know we could slow it down a little bit and
There's
see like an example? Because it's like nothing in a wave of oh shit.
Well, this is very slow.
Okay.
Like this is as slow as it kind of gets. There's no slower way of doing this. It's you just learn and you just practice. Like the first thing you need, like how Josh was, the only thing you need to worry about is literally calming. Get that down, then worry about your own gameplay. Don't worry about being rude to anybody because it doesn't matter. You're here to learn. You're not here to have fun. You're here to learn how to play a game. All right, so we spent enough time going back and forth on that. Sorry if I'm echoing. But okay, who's next? Who's wanting to go next so we can practice that next one?
Can I try?
Yeah, Rude. Okay, so Rude will do these 2 rounds, and then if we have time for the next one, we'll go to the next one. All right. Okay, so Ruda will be our next target caller. So allow Josh, you can echo or relay targets. Keep in mind again not to overcall things. Don't try to act like you're calling targets. All you got to do is just relay information. Whatever you see on your screen, just relay that type of stuff. And then allow Rue to give that information and call out who we actually need to focus. And if she does call something that you can't hit,
Luna. Yeah,
Luna, okay. So whatever Luna calls, if you can't focus it, you don't need to charge to the end of Narnia to try to focus it. All you got to do is just play your tank role, and if something's in the back line, then just play a little slower, let them do what they're gonna do, and then go from there.
Maybe just to help out a little bit, because I feel like they're gonna keep with the same comp. Can maybe as ults are down and whatnot, could you maybe help make calls towards like what we should swap to? Because I still don't know the best for certain comps. So,
Yeah, I'll go into that.
Gosh,
I'll go.
Accidentally, I'm so sorry.
Here,
I was trying to freaking.
They're fine.
You know, is that allowed for what this is?
Oh, whoops, wrong button.
Even though I know it's not like working on what you want to.
What we'll do after we get done with Luna, I will go into a kind of deep dive to kind of give you an idea of what to play, when to play it, and how the triangle of rock paper scissors works. Okay, because that's more of a topic of to understand how team comps work. It's not as simple as, oh, they're playing this, so you need to go this. If I tell you that, you're not going to understand why you need to go that. You're going to know, oh, go this because of this. Which is
maybe that's just a me thing, and that would have to be like me joining you guys in Discord. But I could understand real simply if you like said it. Like why quick 5 seconds. I could understand a swap if you like really gave just like a quick basic like, oh, this is what's happening, and then that might help me further. So
okay, so then you should probably swap Reinhardt then. Why do I? So explain why I should tell you to swap Reinhardt.
Okay, so does Ryan fail? Okay, hold on, never mind, we're in game.
Yeah, after when we pause, we'll go over.
Ball behind, ball.
Ball on the left.
Your Mercy's down.
Alright. Watch the Tracer left side. Oh, damn. Your Hanzo's dead.
Hog behind.
Roll behind.
No, we're all dead.
Okay, wait for the rest.
Waiting at the spawn point.
See that which is unseen. My power grows stronger.
Ball's on me.
Here we on, Luna.
Low. Go for them.
Okay.
Just
Jim's
go
half.
hog.
I'm down.
No, yeah, we're dead. We're dead.
Come on, you gotta push back up. I was like, still red? I'm like, no, we're at the chick.
Oh.
Yeah, no,
down.
yeah, I think.
Go for mercy.
Go left. Go left.
Balls on the stairwell.
See through the darkness.
Mercy's half.
Reviving Joshua.
Thank you.
Go for Tracer. Tracer down.
I'm down.
Face.
You're down your Hanzo.
Your mercy down.
Luce is low. Luce is low. Try to focus on the healers first.
We're down like 3. We're not winning that.
Alright, I'm waiting at the spawn point.
Group.
Your support has arrived.
On Hanzo. Boosting.
Mobility increased.
Enemy seen.
Talk to the
I
left.
don't have a shield.
Talk inside on the left.
Balls up. There's a doom
Go for
behind you.
No. Mercy, fly to me. Fly to me. Oh.
Sorry, hit the wrong file button. Your mercy
Mercy's
down.
low. Go for mercy.
He just ulted.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
Must redeem.
Ball is half. I'm down.
We're down. Yeah, we're down.
See
Your
that
mercy
which is
down.
unseen.
Okay, wait for the rest.
Oh, okay.
Let's go left. Together.
Going left.
I had a Mercy.
Tracer here. Watch out.
Tracer ulted. Doom charged.
Your mercy down.
Doom's half.
I'm gonna try.
Get your impulse.
Contest.
Oh.
Using
down.
it.
Hog.
Anybody touch?
Go for payload.
Ulting.
Who are we on? Who are we on?
I'm down.
I'm on point.
Okay.
Lucio.
Your mercy's on point.
Go for healers first. Try to focus healers.
So in that last little bit right there, when they was pushing into the point, we was getting that spawn advantage. That's those key points where you're not always going to have to, like those are key points where you're always going to want to actually call targets. Okay, through the match, you may not always have to call targets just because whatever else is going on. But during that little moment, that happens very often. I'm pretty sure y'all have all had games like that where it's getting close.
I
We get
was totally tracking that.
yeah. So during those phases when we have 2 or 3 coming back and we're stalling it out, that is the most important time you need to call targets. You don't have to call targets in your games 100% of the time and stuff like that. But if you don't do it, if you do anything, at least at minimum, call targets during those types of things, because that can make or break a fight, or at least turn it into your favor to where you can stall out another 20 seconds or something like that and give your team momentum to either hold it or push back in. So that was what I was just kind of going into a little bit there. Now,
Is that like during that like kind of hyper rush situation where you're like focused on trying to spawn as fast as you can and whatnot?
well, yeah,
Well, it was
when
like when we pushed right there and we like had the advantage right quick and we were getting on point, like I alted and called it, and then I'm up here hovering above the point, and I heard Impulse calling targets, and I noticed like before he called the target, there was like 3 seconds where I was like frozen. I was like, I didn't have anybody to heal, so I switched to my gun, but I didn't know which one to shoot. Right, and that was like, I know what he's saying about that being the key time, you know, because if we would have focused right there,
Yeah, if there would have been somebody, if there would have been somebody for you to shoot, if somebody knows, hey, you're low, or this person's low, or something like that, then you know, yeah, you can maybe go over there, melee him real quick, and now it's a 6v5. Now we have some type of advantage or something like that. So that's something you want to kind of learn there. Next thing is going to say, so as you calling targets and stuff like this, yeah, some of the stream is saying that that you're not calling out as much. A lot of times you are saying just go for healers and stuff, which is okay, but a lot of times the healers are going to have their own self to peel for, and our team comp can't really focus any of them down. The only time we're going to really be able to do something, and the best target for us to really call in a situation like that, is going to be the monkey. If they're running the monkey into us, or either the Doomfist, just because the Doomfist can't really get out as easy as like a ball or a tracer can. And monkey's going to be the easiest target. That's going to be, it's kind of the same way as Diva. And the same thing that Josh was having an issue with, that I feel like you're having an issue with, is just kind of being annoying. Like how Josh was in the first round, calling out one target, and that was kind of it. As soon as you call a target, you just need to be calling that target over and over and over and over and over and over again. Okay? You want to just try to call that type of target out until that target's dead, or you switch to another target. Okay? And be more annoying. Because like how Sideways was saying earlier when we was in the lobby, there's a lot of people talking. Now, in my opinion, there's nobody talking, because I've done this at higher SRs than you have, and you think this is a lot of people talking? I'll show you a clip on Twitch of when I used to play on a team and we had comms during GOATs. Those comms were crazy, and that's nothing compared to what we're doing here. So just kind of keep that in perspective. Now, the last thing that I want to say, Josh, okay, so why did I tell you to switch to Hog at the very beginning rather than Reinhardt?
You want to be fair? You want to be real fair? I actually didn't hear that. The thing that made it swap was, and this is like no criticism against you, because if you said it, it's just my fault for not hearing.
Yeah, you're fine.
But Panda brought up that my team wasn't as heavy on heals as their other team. So the only thing that I could come up with in my head would be Hog with the self-heal.
Yeah, so it's kind of on the point.
I didn't have to rely so much on having a healer right on top of me.
Yeah, so if you're going Ryan, nine times out of 10, you're probably going to want a Baptiste, just with the amount of burst damage that can happen. So when I said, hey, you need to swap off Ryan, the thing I'm looking at is literally our support line. Because our Mercy is going to be doing something else. She's not going to be able to pocket you. Even if Mercy does pocket you, she only heals 55 a second. That's nothing.
Yeah.
Especially
from what you can get hit by.
Yeah. You're getting. She's blowing on you. Hey, here you go. Here's a little fairy dust. That's about it. So she's not going to really be helping you. Moira, she can heal out a decent amount, but even then, the amount of burst damage is not going to help you. You need the immortality field so that you can actually have a chance to breathe and hold your ground instead of just giving up so much space, letting your shield drop, stuff like that. So swapping to a tank that is more survivable, like a ball or a hog or something like that you can survive a little bit more on, would be more ideal. That's what I'm looking at. And that's why I said, like, going into team comp stuff it's a very complex thing. It is not something that I can just kind of tell you and then that you look at that and you say, oh, okay, I know why you're saying this. All right, so this round, Luna, I need you to be way more annoying and repeat your targets. You're calling out a decent amount of targets and stuff like that, but I need you to be a little more vocal during the team fights. If a team fight's not happening or anything, then you don't really need to call anything. You're just kind of waiting for something to happen. Okay?
Okay, what's about times when there is a team fight, but I'm dead?
In that situation, like, ideally, that's why I said normally when you're playing on a team, you would have a backup target caller. But in this lobby, specifically, since we're just working on you, you don't have. You just say, "Hey, I'm dead," or your target caller is dead, or something like. Just you can just say that. So I'm not too
Okay,
worried
got it.
about once you're dead.
So, can I like say this for like the team booster? No one else has talked other than the female so far. So all the other voices are dulled, but still talk the whole time, right? And
Yeah.
let the female, sorry just to put it like that, but let her ultimately tell us where to go. But still talk. There's nothing wrong with talking.
So they're on left side.
Okay, try to break the... Rain.
Oh. They got immortality down? Immortality's down already?
Go for Genji. Genji slow. Genji half. Genji.
He's standing on point. We need to get him off. Okay.
Shield down. Go for Orisa. Orisa is low. Orisa is half.
He's full health now. Mortality's down.
Go for Rain.
Yep.
Much better.
He's full again.
Genji's on me.
Genji's
I'm
half.
down.
Play back. Brian charged. He shattered. Brian charged and shattered.
Your mortar's down.
Alright.
Oh, he makes it out.
Orisa, we need the shield.
Yeah, we just gotta be able. Okay. Just so low.
Guys, we need some sort of shield.
Seamen need aid.
Hand away. Ryan rushed down. He's what? Ryan. Ryan's down. Walking forward.
Orisa is almost... Orisa's down.
We get. Oh, Genji's on.
This is winnable.
Immortality shield.
Heal sideways.
McCree, guys. McCree. I'm down. McCree's ulti.
Yep. Oh, everyone's down. Reset.
They're down. McCree ulted.
Reset. There we go in. Almost got ult.
They all down.
Right now, and Sigma on the right side.
Behind. Go for Genji. Genji is half. Genji is almost down.
Got him.
Genji is down.
No
Sigma's
shield on
behind.
break. I'm going down.
Guys, Sigma.
Sigma's low.
Alright. Go for Sigma.
Watch for Ryan on the left.
Go on the payload.
McCree to the left. McCree.
Go for Cree.
McCree. Yep.
Reinhardt's behind.
I'm pinned.
I'm down.
Oh!
Oh.
I'm
That was a good
coming
shatter.
back.
Without that shatter, that was a good ass play we had.
Yeah.
Go for Rain.
Ryan's left. Ryan left alone. You know, Genji right on top of me. Genji one left. Genji left.
That was not a good match, but this is like starting to make a lot more sense. This calling thing.
No, that was nice sideways. I see some nice heals off of you.
Yeah, no, it was much better, Luna. And calling that stuff out and getting everybody kind of focused on that stuff. So that's something that you want to kind of look for as well. And you did a really good job on calling targets when they were like out of position. Like when Sigma was out of position, calling that type of stuff out. And putting effort into doing that. Now, obviously, coordination and understanding how that works is another factor and everything like that. But that is something that you definitely need to be doing. You still need to be a little more annoying than what you are. Like right now, out of 10, you're probably at like a 4 or 5. So yes, you're doing better. But you are not. That was the last one. That was the last match. Thanks for playing. Okay, I'm gonna back us all out so everybody else can do something if they was gonna do anything else. Yeah, and then I'll go into a more of a depth of team compositions on kind of how hero picks and stuff like that usually work. But yeah, Luna, biggest thing I need next time when you're calling targets and stuff, be a little bit more of what you're already doing. You already have, it seems like, a pretty decent idea of target priority, so you're doing a good job on that. And switching targets, which is actually something that needs to happen from everybody when calling out targets. That's something that I see a lot of times is like people will call a target, and I'm like, dude, they're nanoed, they're ulting, they're not dying, call something else, please. And I see that happen often, where people just get tunnel visioned on one target, and you're actually switching things up as something happens. So that's something that you definitely want to keep looking into, and making better decisions and stuff like that. And then waiting for something to happen. But yeah, I think your biggest thing that you need to work on is literally just calling things throughout the fight more often and more frequently, and kind of get that urgency in your voice. The more urgent and the more aggressive you are when it comes to calling things, the easier it will be for the rest of your team that may not be 100% committed on listening to you, will actually focus stuff down. So like if you go into a random lobby and you're like, okay, can we focus Ryan? Can we focus this? Can we blah, 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 focus this person? Okay, some people might look into that and be like, all right, let's try focusing that. But if you're like, focus Ryan, break, oh, Genji in the backline. Like, if you talk like that and you have that urgency in your voice, people are gonna be like, oh shit, who am I on? What do I need to do? And they're just brain dead, just follow whatever you're listening to, because you're automatically calling it with that sense of urgency and stuff like that. So that kind of helps there. Okay, so do you have any questions or anything like that? And they said your comms did get better and stuff, which I definitely think they did get better. Y'all should have seen Joshua's first match and his second match. It was like completely night and day from his first match to his second match. Like I was very impressed to see how much of a change was there. But yes, the longer you do this and the more practice you get, the faster you can start getting more information out. And that's a big thing when it comes to Overwatch. And I don't know if you guys watch Overwatch League players or anybody who was ever pro in a game like Overwatch or any fast-paced game. There's one thing that you can know from every high-ranked player usually is that they all talk very fast. If you talk to any high-ranked player, when they're actually talking to get information out, they can talk very quickly. And you'll see it. Go watch some streams and then hear when they talk and hear when they have to get a lot of information out from a sentence or something that they're watching or something like that. They can say a lot of stuff very quickly because they're used to talking at such a high pace. So that's something that you just got to get used to doing to kind of help when it comes to calling out things. Overwatch is a very fast-paced game. I know Sideways is talking about like, this is very fast. I'm like, no, this is very, very slow. This is very slow compared to what normally happens. Like I remember my first I was in a team. We was playing a 4.1k team, and we was playing, and they had ultimates within the first 20 seconds when we was playing, and I was like, "This is the fastest I've ever seen stuff." They're like, "Yeah, like every 100 SR is like a different skill rating. Like 4.1 to 4.2 team is like a diamond to masters team or whatever. Like the skill gap is that big." So, other than that, does anybody have any questions before we go into a dive on compositions and what to pick? No questions on anything? Okay, so let's go into a little bit of a deep dive on compositions, what to pick, why to pick, kind of how to pick around your stuff, and then hopefully that'll kind of clear up a little bit of stuff. And I'm going to do this at a very basic level, and I'm not going to go into too much detail on this just to kind of keep things quick. So, you remember...
Can you also include healers, though?
This will cover...
role pretty much you're doing?
This will cover everything. This will cover everything. You can apply this to pretty much everything in the game, okay? Okay, so how the game works basically is you have 3 kind of compositions, and they're all kind of sub compositions under them, but your 3 basic compositions are your dive compositions, your brawly type compositions, and your like spam type compositions, okay? You can classify pretty much every hero in the game to something like that. The easiest way you can kind of define this is like if they are a brawl hero, usually they're going to be a closer range hero or something that's close range with not a lot of movement ability. Their primary thing in their kit is not momentum or not mobility. Okay, so ideas for that would be like these are very hard brawl characters. Brig is a brawl character. DPS would be like a McCree. Tank would be like a Reinhardt. Okay, these are hard brawl characters. Now there are subdivisions into that where you could say like you could put soldier in that category. You could put a Reaper in that category. You could put a Moira kind of into that category. Lucio or Zen to an extent in that so they all have their little subcategories, but ideally your brawl is those types of heroes and stuff like that. If you need a hard brawl character, that's what you go. Okay? Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, each one of these counters each other. Okay? So your brawl composition usually will counter your dive composition. Okay? Because most dive characters rely on movement, and most brawl characters usually have stuns, or they like to play close. So if your Brig and Reinhardt are playing super close together, they're usually going to win a duel out against a Monkey and Diva or Monkey and a Mercy or something like that, just because they're able to brawl and sit and stun, okay? And then your dive compositions counter your spam compositions, because spam compositions usually rely on spamming down a direction and playing range off of that. So the easiest way to do that is you dive onto them so you don't have to get shot down the whole time. Easiest way I can say this is like, if you're a Reinhardt, that's a brawl, and you're an Orisa, which is a spam, and Ryan, you have to go against this Orisa, you're probably going to be getting melted down by this Orisa. Just because, I mean, she's going to be able to outdamage you before you even get close, right? There are ways around this by taking high ground, going left side, whatever, teleporting, all that type of stuff. But as a character on a whole, Ryan versus Orisa, you're probably going to lose that. Unless, Ryan, you happen to get close to her. Okay? Now,
the shield's going to drop, and then you're not worth it.
Yep. Now, let's say you are a Wrecking Ball or a Winston, and you're playing an Orisa. Okay? Usually, as a Ball or Winston or something like that, if you're playing one of those, it's going to be a lot easier for you to be able to deal with that Orisa. Because now all that damage she's doing from afar, you don't have to worry about it because you can just dive onto her and now you're there. And easily take that fight kind of in her out of her range where she wants to be, because she wants to be behind that shield. So that's kind of how you want to kind of do that. Okay? So like I said, your brawl characters counters your dive, your dive counters your spam, and your spam counters your brawl, and it just kind of circles and stuff like that. Now, when you're picking hero compositions, the other thing you want to look at is your maps and your locations of maps and what each point of the map will have. So let's take, for instance, Junkertown. Junkertown's a very open map, right? So a brawl composition is going to be a little tougher to play. Running a Reinhardt, a Brig, McCree, stuff like that, that's going to be a little harder to play with how much range and length is in that first point, and even a little bit on that second point. So it's going to be a little tougher to play. You can still play it, of course, but ideally, if you play something that's spammy, you probably have a little more advantage versus a team that is running a Reinhardt. Just because you can play back and still get value while the Reinhardt really can't do any value. Now, if it's the other way around and you go something that's going to be where people's going to dive into you, then you probably want to run a Reinhardt or something. It obviously you swap to counter and stuff like that. So look at your map and what you're going to be playing there. Then also look at your team synergy when it comes to picking team compositions. Usually when you're picking teams, you want the synergized composition. So if you are picking a main tank as a Reinhardt, that automatically tells your team you're wanting to brawl and do damage up close, right? So ideally, every hero pick from there on should be around that main tank, right? You want to get value with your main tank and go from there. Now you can also do the complete opposite and say this with your DPS or your supports. If your support is a really good Brigitte or your support's a really good Ana or whatever, then and you want to play around that, then play around the Ana. Pick compositions that work with the Ana. Pick compositions that work with your Brig or your Mercy or your Zen, whatever you want to do. But kind of go around that when it comes to picking composition. And then now how to counter things. Y'all already know that now you already kind of understand the basic compositions of like dive, spam, brawl, right? Now let's say they are running a brawl composition, but they have a really good tracer that is just shitting on your backline, right? And you're running a spam composition, okay? So you're running a spam composition, and they're running a brawl composition, but their tracer is just completely shitting on you, and that is why you're losing. You can identify that is why you're losing, okay? So look at who wants to swap to deal with it, okay? So you already know that what counters dive. Brawl characters counter dive, which means you need to go a brawl character to counter that character, right? So if you're running an Orisa, Hanzo, let's say Torb or an Ashe or Junkrat and a Zenyatta and a Ana, and you're getting fucked over by this tracer, you know that one of your hero picks, your swaps, needs to be a brawl character, i.e. Brigitte, Hog, Sigma, Cassidy, Reaper, Torb, Mei, something like that that can hard counter that tracer. That is where your hero picks and counter swaps come in. Is looking at who is carrying on the enemy team and how do we need to punish him. Yes, sometimes you can do one hero and hey, cool. You swap to a McCree for that tracer and you should win. But sometimes that tracer may be so good, you may have to do a hard swap. You may have to go a whole Ryan Brig, Moira, McCree, Torb, all this stuff just to deal with this tracer. And that's fine as well. Just know what you're doing and coordinate with your team on what actually needs to happen. Just because one person is supposed to counter something doesn't mean that they may not be that they'll be able to counter it. Like I hear this a lot of times in lower ranks. Oh, there's a Pharah, we need a hit scan. Okay, a McCree can maybe deal with the Pharah, but let's say now it's a pharmacy. You don't go double hit scan. You put other stuff on it. You put a Zen so you can discord the Pharah the whole time. You put a Diva so that she can eat the nades. You put a Mercy or something, and then you get like another dive tank that can go up there and deal with that type of stuff or whatever. So now you have 1, 2, 3 different things working toward dealing with this Pharah. So now your McCree doesn't have to play out of his mind to deal with one area, rather than just helping your McCree get to that section. Okay? So does that kind of explain everybody when it comes to hero picks, counter picking, what to pick on certain maps, and stuff like that? Because hopefully that kind of explains a little bit of most hero picks.
Yeah,
okay.
I would definitely say outside of like the things that I didn't know already, you definitely covered like the core basic parts of it.
Yeah, and like I said, there's not always going to be a hard 100% brawl composition or whatever, and it's not always going to be 100% black and white. Like you could they could be
even two heroes could change out of nowhere and it would change up the whole comp pretty much. You know.
Yeah.
Like right?
Yeah, well, it's like running a Symmetra with a Reinhardt. Symmetra's
Yeah.
not really a brawl. She's kind of a little bit of a brawl or something,
Would she
but
just put you in though? You know, like all
yeah,
you would really expect out of her in that kind of situation would her to just TP you in.
yeah. You can consider her brawl and dive. She's like a mixed character. So, like, okay, so people in chat are asking how Sig and Hog are brawl. They are close range characters. They are also spam characters as well, and there are a lot of mix and matches between heroes. You're not going to have an 100% character that is this way and a 100% character that is this way. Obviously, you can only have so many characters in the game that kind of play similar. So Hog can be used in a brawl composition, and he can be used in a spam composition. He mixes, blurs those lines a little bit to figure out, okay, what do you need to do here? And sometimes you may have to dive onto the Hog or be able to do that, because if Hog hooks somebody, you need to be able to follow up with that. The only way you're really going to be able to follow up with that is to be able to dive onto the Hog and focus them after that, right?
Yeah.
You can't run a spam composition or a Reinhardt composition and then now he's just supposed to die or something. Like, you have to be able to focus him down and get close to that. So Sig is better than Ryan QCQ. What does QCQ mean? So I have no idea what QCQ is. Leave my Ryan alone.
That's
okay.
me.
Oh, okay.
Is that you?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Hi, friend.
Hello. Close quarter combat. Oh yeah, for sure. Sig's always going to Sig has too much damage and too many things versus Reinhardt that Sigma would always be better than Ryan if it's a 1v1 situation. Which is why normally if you have a Reinhardt paired with a Sig, you either go Sig or you maybe go Zard, but like Sig and Reinhardt is going to out damage your enemy's Reinhardt a lot of the time. So that's just something that you just got. It's like running, because if you're running a Reinhardt and a Zarya and they're running a Reinhardt and a Sigma, and your Reinhardt is very slow paced gameplay or something, like you're not winning that in Reinhardt. No, that's it. Is there another chat? Oh, they're in stream. Yeah. Yeah, if you want to go on stream, I'm about to head out of here. So, like I said,
so if I'm following that logic right, then if I'm a support class and I've got like a brawl team, I might want to do like I don't know, a AOE healer versus like a single target, right? If everybody's gonna be
you don't necessarily have to do an AOE healer. You just need to do something that's going to be able to play close range. That wants to play close range. And like I said, it all depends on what it's not like you have to play a hard close range healer. Like if your team comp is like a Ryan Zarya, McCree, Widow, and something else, yeah, going more might be good, but you also need something to be able to heal the Widow. So Ana can cover that, Baptiste can cover that. So those might be a better hero in that situation versus going a Moira or something like that. So that's something that you may want to look at as well. And like I said,
that's a good point.
It also depends on what the enemy team does. So if the enemy team is running something that counters the Moira or whatever, then just swap off and run something to counter them. And you never know what the enemy team's going to run. I always say whenever you're playing with a group of random people, or whenever you're playing a comp match or against an enemy team, always play a little safe and see how the enemy team's going to react, okay? See how they play around this. Go for like a cheeky play maybe once or twice. All right, see you, Luna. But yeah, that's the stream if you want to know what's going on there. But yeah, look at how the enemy team's playing and then do like a cheeky play and see if you get away with it. And if you get away with it, then hey, start doing that a little bit more. Like, don't ever think a Widow is not going to hit a headshot in gold or silver. She could just be popping off or something like that and just always play behind cover until you see that she's missing a lot of shots. If she's missing a lot of shots, then okay, now you can maybe play out in the open a little bit more. play a little freer, but always give them the benefit of the doubt that they are a top 500 player. They're going to hit every shot. They're going to be in the best position, all that type of stuff until you see otherwise. Okay?